All right, good morning, good people around the world, and I hope your holidays are going just fine. Mine is, I'm doing all right, but enough about that. Today we're starting the OPR on the YF102, which is covered in metal, okay? The whole thing's covered in metal. So this is OPR on metal. Now, before I get into that, I want to go and give just a little bit of an update. So what I have accomplished is getting the landing gear brakes plumbed in. Maybe you can see it. And let's turn it. It's the copper wire, you see. It's real fine copper wire. By the way, I took all that copper wire off an old 70s tube TV. They're full of it. Just awesome. Okay, so that's the main gear plumbed. Let me grab the nose gear. And, of course, I left the lines long because I'm going to connect them in to the fuselage, obviously, up in the gear well. That's why they're left long. And then we'll trim them off as we need to. But let's see if I can turn that around a little bit. Okay. There we go. And there's your plumbed lines for the nose gear. And I have made, the kit didn't come with landing lights. And I happened, looking at original pictures, happened to see them on the main, my phone keeps falling, on the main gear. So, here's your gear door, metal one side, zinc the other, and there's the homemade landing lights. Now all I did for that nice brilliant shine for the lens is that is metal. That's metal. That's all that is. And it's beautiful. And then I plumbed in the, if you want to say plumbed in, wired the light on the door there with clamps and everything. And I left the wire long so it can be run into the gear well. Now, that takes care of that. Now, I've also done some plumbing on the main gear well in the wing. So, I'm going to attempt to show this to you. Don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but you can see those copper plumbing here. And then I've got the yellow electrical in there. You can see all that. And there's a couple of boxes right up in here that I've run wires to. And so on. Now, after getting all that done, it's time to start doing the OPR on the metal because I don't want to attach the wing to the fuselage until I get this done and it's cured and I can handle it pretty well and nothing will come off. And it usually takes a good week for the oil paint to cure good so you can handle it. Then we'll go ahead and install the wing onto the fuselage and start making some progress towards some type of completion. I've also got the cockpit to the point where basically all that, well, I got to weather in the dash pad and all that, but it's ready for the canopy. And that's going to be completely last, obviously. So, the tools we're going to need for the OPR on metal is your black oil paint, and in this case it is Permalba Artist Oil Color. You can buy these at Hobby Lobby for rather cheap. It's just a cheap oil paint from Hobby Lobby. It don't have to be anything expensive and fancy. You will need plenty of napkins or paper towels cut into little squares, and you can see this one's already dirty with oil paint, and I'll explain all that in a moment. You'll need Q-tips, and this one's already dirty, and you will need a clean cotton ball for your final wipe. That's your final cleansing of the metal, and that's basically it. Just 4 things. Alright, let me see if I can pull you down here a little bit. So you will need your oil paint, Q-tip, cotton ball, and your napkins or paper towels cut into little squares. Now, I'm going to attempt to show you this. I've got the one side of the bottom of the wing done. And hello Timothy, how are you? Steve, glad you could tune in. Now if I can get the light right, there we go. At least on my end I can see it. This side is not done yet, this side is. And you can see the difference between the 2 sides as I turn it. Now this process is really simple. It's not that hard. Basically, you got your tube of black oil paint. You're going to start with a Q-tip. You're going to dab it into your oil paint little by little. Don't take much. And you're just going to wipe all that oil paint and smear it into all them rivets and panel lines. Just smear it until you've got the whole thing covered. Alright? Then after that, you will take your napkin, and as you can see, it's dirty from wiping. And basically what I do is fold it up to a point where it's easy to handle, and you just start very carefully, hardly any pressure at all, and just start cleaning that oil paint off of the metal and leaving the paint behind in the rivets and the panel lines. And you wipe to a point. Now you can get it as clean as you want, or you can leave it as dirty as you want. That's totally up to you and the look you're looking for. Okay? You can even leave streaks coming out of some of the rivets, the panel lines, the access and inspection plates. You can do all that all at once. Alright? It's that simple. Now once you've got to this point like I have, then you're ready to final wipe with a clean cotton ball. Now I took a cotton ball and I cut it right half in 2 with scissors. Real sharp scissors. And what I'll do is I'll let this cure for about an hour before I take my final wipe and clean it to the point where I'm happy with the look that I want. Like I said, you can leave it as dirty or as clean as you want, depends on what you want to do and the model you're building and so on. But you can clearly see the difference in this side that's done and this side that isn't. The panel lines, access doors, and inspection plates, rivets, all that stands out now and it looks really awesome. A clear difference between the 2. And it's not hard. I mean, this whole side took me about 10-15 minutes tops to get to this point. Now we're to the point where I'm going to let it rest and cure for a little bit before I take my final wipe and and clean it to where I want it. So OPR can be as hard as you want to make it, or it can be as easy as you want to make it. It takes practice and knowing, having a plan, and knowing what you're doing for whatever finish you're working on, whether it be paint or metal, what have you. Okay? So that's basically what this was all about this morning. I'm not going to keep you real long. By the way, this is probably one of the only times that I see some comments coming in, but I don't have my glasses on to really see them. Thank you, Tim. I think I see that one. Steven, how are you? Steve, Novak, glad to see y'all. This is probably one of the only times you'll ever see me wear gloves. Why? Because I don't want to track the oil and leave fingerprints and blah, blah, blah all over the plane. And here's a hint. When you're done, and your gloves are still on, and you've got a little oil residue on your gloves, go to the bathroom sink or whatever sink you're comfortable with, get some good warm water and some soap, and wash your hands with the gloves on. And that will clean the gloves and take all the oil residue off, and voila, you've saved a pair of gloves. And you can use them for next time. But this is the only time, or one of the only times, you'll ever see me wear gloves. And the point is of wearing the gloves is to not track fingerprints and oil all over the plane. So this is how you do the OPR on metal. It's a little different for paint and da-da-da-da. And, you know, but this is what this was all about this morning, is giving you an update on where I'm at here. I post most of my work on my YouTube channel. You need to check it out. I've got shorts. I've got how-to videos on how to do all of this. You can check all that out on the YouTube channel. And if you scroll down in the group, you'll find the link to all that. And some other videos and blah, blah, blah. So, I'm not going to keep you much longer. I just wanted to show you guys how to do all that. And I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks so much, and we'll see you the next time.